So if you don't know already, President Trump said that if you don't love America, you can simply leave. This led a firebrand of controversy coming from the left. But the thing of it is, as always, Trump was able to do major things, and there's 7 of them that came directly out of this statement, and we're going to talk about them right now. Hi, my name is Kyle, and welcome to my channel where we take culture, TV, and movies, and we filter it right. If this is your first time here, please consider hitting that like and subscribe button and that bell icon so you don't miss any future content. Now, like I said in my introduction, President Trump, on the heels of his comment that said, if you don't love America, you can leave, he was able to pull out 7 things I can think about. There's probably more, but I'm going to cover these 7 things right now. And if you're not familiar with what he said, we're going to talk about that really quickly, and then we're going to get right into the 7 things. So what I have here is I had a video that I did that talks about this, but essentially there was a group called the Squad. Okay, these are 4 congresswomen. And if you want to know about that, I have a video here that talks about that. And essentially what happened was President Trump made a comment saying that if you don't love America, you can simply leave. And in doing so, these 4 congresswomen, AOC and Omar and 2 others, again, I cover it in this video here, talks about they were upset that they were saying that he was dog whistling to them, saying that that you're talking to women of color and that you are being disrespectful and racist. Okay, now, so one thing that Pelosi was trying to do, and one thing I want to emphasize, that in another video I mentioned here, that this statement was very, very powerful because what he was able to do was he was able to take the situation where Pelosi was trying to distance herself and the party from the radical left, okay? And in doing so, Trump jumped in and said, oh, no, wait a minute. I'm going to tie you 2 together. And I did a video here I'm going to show you where he basically said that the tweets themselves are not racist, but they were strategic on getting the Democrats back together. Check out this video right here. I'll leave a link ahead or above. But what was the first impact of this? Okay, the first thing was he was able to expose the Squad, this radical left-wing part of the party. By exposing them, he was able to let people see who they are. And then after that, he forced the Democrats to embrace the Squad. So the first thing he did was expose. That's step number 1. He exposed the Squad and exposed what they're all about, the comments they've made in the past. That's number 1. Number 2, he forced the Democrats to embrace this Squad because Pelosi, like I said before, was trying to get away from that. That's number 2. Number 3, he ended up galvanizing the base of the party. He was able to actually increase his numbers with the GOP. One poll had him as high as 5 points higher. And there's an article here on the Blaze that talks about the CNN narrative that President Trump is racist to a group of women. It brutally backfires. Check out this link. I'll leave a link below where basically Anderson Cooper polls these women who are Republican women and asks them, do you think that the Trump tweets were racist? Okay. And of course, as the article said, it went totally backwards for the Democrats and for Anderson Cooper. So check that out. Also, we have a poll for the New York Washington Times here. It said that Trump gets ratings boost among GOP voters after go back comments. His numbers actually go up by, I think, 5 points. And that is also very, very telling because people understand when Trump says something that there's a true meaning for it, that there's truth behind it, and that the media spin that comes after it is going to be wrong. And so people are getting smart, wiser, and this statement actually galvanized the party. All right, that's number 3. Number 4, he actually crushed the impeachment talks. So what happened was the Democrats who were trying to get away from the radical left wing of the party, Trump jumps in and says, oh, no, you don't. Get back together. You guys are in bed together. That has a backlash. The party ends up, GOP that is, starts to galvanize. And then that makes them even more upset. So now they want to impeach Trump because President Trump is saying mean things. We're going to impeach him. Well, they had a vote yesterday, which basically you had this guy here. I did a video on him as well. I'll leave a link above on that they want to impeach him. But of course, that failed 332 to 95. And so for the third time, this impeachment resolution failed because the Democrats know if they impeach Trump, they're going to lose hugely. Not only they're going to lose the presidency again, they're going to lose the House, and they're going to probably increase their deficit in the Senate as well. It will be a total nightmare for them if they go on this radical fringe. The Democrats are at war with each other, and we're seeing it play out right now, and President Trump is responsible for it. Okay, so that's number 4. Number 5 is he actually sucked the air out of the Democrats' campaign. These 24 candidates, none of them can get any traction because, you know what? All of this stuff with the controversy with the radical left and Pelosi and so forth is causing them to be ignored. Joe Biden himself, the so-called frontrunner, had a press conference or presser announcing his health care plan. Nobody heard about it. The only reason why you heard about any of it was because he had a gaffe saying that if you like your private insurance, you can keep it. That sounds familiar, right? Sounds very familiar. And that was a total mistake on his part to say that, especially in the light of that obviously wrong statement that President Obama had when he initially kicked off his Obamacare initiative. Okay, that was number 5. So number 6 is President Trump announced a asylum policy change that went under the radar. Basically, he said the policy now is going to be you can't jump 2 countries to come to America. That you need to claim asylum, it needs to be directly into America. If you go to another country, like let's say from one Central American country to another, you can't come to America beyond that point. That went under the radar, and so the media couldn't really focus on that because they were tied up with this other stuff here. So that, in my opinion, was a win for him. And to top it all off, at the end of the day, yesterday, Trump's approval rating with Rasmussen went up to 50%. After all of this stuff, he went up 5 points with Republicans in general. Only took a hit 2 points with Democrats, which, like I said before, that needle can't be moved so much further either way because he's so low with the Democrats. That they're just beating a dead horse with that. It's going to be about the independents and about the Republicans, and Trump is keeping that steady. And so that is what Trump has done this past week. So quickly to recap, Trump exposed and labeled the squad. He forced the Dems to embrace that, even though they didn't want to. He galvanized the GOP base. He crushed impeachment talks. He sucked out the air of the DNC 2020 candidates. He got his asylum policy change under the radar. No one talked about it. And lastly, his approval ratings went up to 50%, which is near all-time high for him. And so what do you think about this week that Trump has had? Do you think it was as impactful as I think it was? If so, let me know in the comments below. And if you like the content on this channel where we take culture, TV, and movies and we filter it right, please hit that like and subscribe button and that bell icon so you don't miss any future content. And as always, please hit and check out some of these videos that I have right here.